together my
I
thoughts.
feel like we just did this the other day. Oh, wait, we did. We are officially in our award season with televised award shows. We had our first one last Sunday. This Sunday will be the Critics' Choice Awards. And yes, we are going to be doing that podcast tonight, as you can tell from the title of this video. Welcome to yet another award show podcast exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. Joining me as always, we have Ashley.
God, the delay's about 30 seconds. Sorry for you hearing the preamble before that. LOL.
That's going to get cut out before we put this online. Anyway, that's up to you, sir.
I don't know how to edit this shit. I just put the stream up.
That's great. So it's going to be dead silence for like 2 seconds. That's
No,
great.
it's me.
Awesome.
It's me. Yeah, well, it's me talking and then it's silence. So it's sort of, you know, how I felt
Okay,
about
that's good.
how I felt
Nothing else
about the
said.
message at the bottom of the image. Everybody.
All right, so we are here, of course, AJ joining us once more as well.
Yeah.
Weird way to start us out here. So, welcome to the Critics' Choice Awards Prediction Podcast, and we are going to be discussing all of the 4,000 categories between television and film for the 6-hour-long Critics' Choice Awards this Sunday night. We got lots of people. Lots of people. Oh, I see Ashley's in chat. So,
Something happened and it caught me off guard, which I don't
I
think
see
is
Ashley's in
relevant.
chat. So, welcome everyone, whether live in archive or in archive. Being right off the top says, I warned you about the more mainstream animated movies canceling each other out. They certainly did at the Globes. Again, I didn't go with it, but we always say before, don't discount Leica ever.
Can I address the shit that is the bottom of this video before we even get to predictions?
I don't know what's in the bottom of this video, so go right ahead.
There's a logo for the British Academy Film Awards, and then it says underneath nominations, and then there's an equal sign, and then it's Tom Hanks' face from the Globes. What
Wow.
the shit were they thinking? People question me as to whether I'm on grade A crack. No, BAFTA is. BAFTA is.
Ashley will get to that later. That's a BAFTA podcast, and that's coming up later.
Yeah, but we're not going to react to it.
Oh, we'll react to it then. Don't worry. Bry Guy says, hello, guys. With BAFTAs overlapping with the Oscars, does Price's BAFTA nomination make him a lock? Josephine says, no. I don't see it.
Nothing's a lock, ever.
Ever guarantee anything's a lock at this point, because things you would call a lock can be easily undone with what's going to happen the rest of this race.
Case in point, at least with the BAFTAs, no missing link. Didn't even make the list.
No Christian Bale either.
Well, they chose the British guy that they're flying their flag on. And he sort of looks like Elton John.
Let's see. Bry Guy says, my Oscar nominations predictions is planned by this weekend. That's cool. Hey, howdy, hey, says Mr. Top Hat. How appropriate. Bry Guy says, once again hosted by Tay Diggs. Just officially announced the Oscars are hostless once again. So no host for the Oscars this year. Don't forget the other guilds. Yes, Bry Guy will be covering the guilds very soon. Josephine says, if I haven't said it, I haven't said it enough. Guy Fieri should host. And she says, I think Bale is out of the race. I don't agree with you.
Nobody's out the race.
No one's out of the race right now. But we have to understand, it's just like we've had one televised award show, and anything could possibly happen at this point. You think that there's 4 locks, and then there's one slot that could go to anybody? That's generally true. But what if that's not the case, and we get some surprises on Monday? Happens every year. Guy Fieri at least present.
You never know.
I do love me some chicken guy.
The thing also is there's stuff like, obviously SAG and BAFTA are the big ones because they're the ones that actually have Academy Awards in them. And usually if you miss SAG and BAFTA, that's pretty much the death knell for you.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, my confidence in Banderas is not swayed at all. I still feel perfectly fine with him, despite having missed SAG and BAFTA. But like I said, that's just that whole thing about how there's never a for sure somebody's in or for sure somebody's not. And obviously, there's people that could potentially get in that don't have anything right now, like Defoe and Miranda de Tavera last year. So, yeah, all the stuff we've mentioned before.
Right.
With all we have to go through, should we get started?
Yeah, most definitely. So I'm gonna guess we're probably gonna start with television first.
Obviously.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, more ways than one. The Academy has invited a ton of Spanish people the past few years. That's why I still see Banderas getting in.
Is that it?
Josephine said that. Yeah, I just want to trying to keep up on chat here. Well, the relevant messages in chat.
I'm afraid to know what that means.
Ashley, kayfabe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see Tom Hanks' face now. Okay. See, the funny thing about it is, Ashley, you're also completely glossing over the fact you may look at Hanks' face, but you also look at the woman behind him with her eyes shut, and she doesn't look happy either.
It's all round. Is anybody happy about the BAFTA nominations, other than the people that got nominated?
Yeah, I still don't have a I don't still have much. Oh, well, I still don't have any more to go on with my my backing of Lupita Nyong'o.
I'm more surprised that my shoe-in that I thought was going to be obvious because she's British, Symphony Evo, didn't even make it in.
I don't know. Josephine asked if we watched Schitt's Creek.
I've been meaning to start it, but I haven't yet.
I love them so much from the Chris Guest movies, and I'm a huge Eugene Levy fan and a huge Catherine O'Hara fan. I still have not got a chance to check out a full episode. I've seen bits and pieces because when Impact was on Pop, I remember being in the Impact Zone and seeing commercials for Schitt's Creek. So yeah, I definitely remember that. But that's all I've been able to see of the show. The other two and the two popes cross over the other two popes. Okay, television time.
I kind of somewhat put these in my own order, so hopefully you can follow along easily.
Well, we shall see.
And I've got to copy my tick as to indicate which ones we picked.
I figure we'd start with animated series.
That's way low on mine. Okay, go ahead.
Where we have Big Mouth, BoJack Horseman, The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, The Simpsons, and Undone. I know what like 3 of these are. The others I had to Google, and based on that very small amount of research, just because this can just be pretty much anything. There's no strategy behind this. I just guessed Undone.
Ashley.
BoJack Horseman. We're getting close to the final season, and the critics seem to sort of somewhat overall like it. I'm amazed The Simpsons isn't here, because I thought there was just I thought The Simpsons has been indifferent from the critics for about 15 years since it was last good.
Like, again, you're not seeing those standout series that have been on the cusp for the longest time of popular shows like Rick and Morty and things like Bob's Burgers, things like that I remember seeing in the past. We're seeing a lot of new blood in this lineup.
Well, Dark Crystal is, Dark Crystal would be my dark horse.
I originally wanted to go with Undone here. That was the first thing that popped into my head, and I thought about going with She-Ra as well. But in the end of the day, I decided to just stick with the one that made the most sense in my head, and I'm sticking with Ashley's prediction. I'm going BoJack Horseman.
I almost went with it before I bothered to look up the others, just to so I mean, maybe I'll regret actually bothering to look them up.
Parsnip Burger says you guys should watch that Netflix show Dark. It's great.
All right, best talk show.
Now I need to find out what Netflix Dark is. Oh, it's German
I know
language.
what AEW Dark is.
It's German language. Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
It's an international... Oh, it's 2 seasons. Oh, it's been around for a while. It's not new. But you see, it's not Stranger Things, so... Bye!
Next, so we can go to the next, a little bit more of a chat as well.
Best talk show.
Yes.
Where we have Jesus and Mero, Samantha Bee, Kelly Clarkson, John Oliver, James Corden, and Seth Meyers.
Sorry, that's the first time I'm aware Kelly Clarkson was given a chat show. I copied this out and I didn't even see it. I was just saw other names. What?
I didn't know who Jesus and Mero were until I looked them up, and I found a great interview they did with Bill Hader. So, based on that alone, I'm on their side, but I went with the really safe choice, which obviously is John Oliver.
What do you got, Ashley?
I'm going with Oliver as well.
Wow. We're all going to stick with John Oliver here.
Well, I was tempted just to tempt fate and say James Corden and, go to my fucking Palpatine.
Hold on. Chat time real quick.
Oh.
Fleabag has been dominating every awards as Top Hat. BoJack is my choice. Fry Guy said he's going to be doing his Critics' Choice predictions on his channel, but he's going to reveal his movie predictions as a spoiler. Josephine says BoJack and Jojo Rabbit crossover. Bojo Rabbit. Wow.
Bobo the angsty zebra.
Yeah. Apparently there's going to be a Bob's Burgers movie this year. Theatrically, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Parsnip says Dark has been out for a while. It's a cross between Stranger Things and Twin Peaks. It's a huge cult following. And Josephine says, I love John Oliver. He creates positive energy surrounding them. Continue.
Best comedy special. Mm-hmm. One of these sticks out compared to the others.
Yep.
We have Amy Schumer growing, Jenny Slate stage fright, live in front of city audience, no one there's all the family of Jefferson, Rami Youssef feelings, Seth Meyers lobby baby, Trevor Noah son of Patricia, and Wanda Sykes not. Like I said, you could base this on Emmy wins, but that's hardly the way to go. But in this case, I did, and it's also just happens to be the only one I actually watched of these, which is the live in front of studio audience thing.
All right. What do you got, Ashley?
We're pretty much just guessing in this territory, so.
Yeah. I was tempted to say Rami Youssef because of the Globes, but then I realised the critics aren't just foreign press, they're also American press. So I'm going to say Trevor Noah, son of Patricia.
Okay. And apparently I am going to go with Rami Youssef myself. I feel like most of these comedy specials that they nominate are pretty safe overall. Safe choices. I don't really see anything outrageous getting in here. So,
like Chappelle's.
Yeah, oh god, yes. Love Chappelle's new one. Absolutely. Sticks and Stones is amazing. Next.
Alright, supporting actress in a miniseries or TV movie. Where we have Patricia Arquette for The Act, Marsha Stephanie Blake for When They See Us, Toni Collette for Unbelievable, Niecy Nash for When They See Us, Margaret Qualley for Fosse Verdon, Emma Thompson for Years and Years, and Emily Watson for Chernobyl. As I mentioned before, I had a friend that watched Years and Years and said it's like emotionally devastating. So I almost went Emma Thompson, but I landed on Toni Collette instead because Unbelievable's got to fucking win something this.
Ashley, what do you got?
Chernobyl.
Okay. I'm going with Margaret Qualley here.
That's the one I was contemplating it might have been. But then I realised the critics love Chernobyl too much.
She does have a strong part, because I still haven't finished Fosse Verdon yet, but it is like her character is kind of refreshing when she comes in, because she's like the first one that really doesn't put up with Fosse's bullshit. So it is a really strong role as far as I've seen.
Plus, she's in I think 5 of the 8 episodes as well, so it's not like she's only there for one and gone.
Chat comments real quick. I love John Oliver. Negative and creates positive energy surrounding them. Hi, Cassie. Top Hat says Bustopher Jones can't defeat John Oliver. And Josephine says Amy Schumer went to my high school. I don't find her funny at all. Top Hat says live in front of a studio audience is my vote. The second one was definitely weaker than the first. Parsnip Burger says, do you guys collect Blu-rays and 4Ks? I have over 4,500 in my collection now.
I have Blu-rays. I haven't gone the 4K route, but yeah.
No, I just have a shit ton of DVDs.
I get like doing the full experience and everything, but 4K almost seems like overkill to me.
Fair.
Yeah, maybe I'll eventually make that transition.
John Oliver made fun of my local news backyard train and made a giant train to Scranton's Electric City Trolley Museum, says Bry Guy. And Parsnip Burger says, having watched Gwen Verdon a lot, Michelle Williams is spot on playing her down to the nuances.
Yeah, I'd say Michelle Williams is going to have a pretty sweeping award season. But we'll get to that.
Next.
All right, supporting actor in a miniseries or TV movie. We have Asani Black for When They See Us, Clooney for Catch-22, John Leguizamo for When They See Us, Dev Patel for Modern, Jesse Plemons for El Camino, Stellan Skarsgård for Chernobyl, and Russell Tovey for Years and Years. Obviously, I would love it to be Jesse Plemons, and I love that he actually got some mention. But I went the safe Globes route and said Stellan Skarsgård.
What do you got, Ashley?
Chernobyl.
I'm going with Jesse Plemons. Might as well.
All right. We moving on?
Yes.
Supporting actress in a comedy series. We have Alex Borstein for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Darcy Carden for The Good Place, Sean Clifford for Fleabag, Betty Gilpin for Glow, Rita Moreno for One Day at a Time, Annie Murphy for Schitt's Creek, and Molly Shannon for the other two. There are way too many damn nominees at this show.
No lie, it's ridiculous.
7 for each.
I feel like Alex Borstein's the safe choice, but because I can't think of another actress that could convincingly deliver the line, "Get your hands off my miscarriage," I'm going to go with Sean Clifford for Fleabag.
What do you got, Ashley?
Sadly, I have to say Alex Borstein. I don't think the critics are actually... Although she had much more of a meaty role for season 2, I don't know whether it was good enough that the people noticed, because I think more people are paying attention to Phoebe than they are anything else, which would be a shame. I want to be wrong. This is one of the only few cases where I'm like, I want to be wrong.
Real quick before I get started, Josephine says Amy Adams should have won, and that Jesse Plemons and Kirsten Dunst are such a cute couple. She wants Annie Murphy to win. And I'm also going to go safe and go with Alex Borstein here.
Okay. Supporting actor for a comedy series?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is a pretty great group of people here.
Yeah.
We have Andre Braugher for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Anthony Carrigan for Barry, William Jackson Harper for The Good Place, Daniel Levy for Schitt's Creek, Nico Santos for Superstore, Andrew Scott for Fleabag, and Henry Winkler for Bear. This is a time where I don't mind there's this many nominees.
If it's deserved, that makes sense.
Obviously, I would love so much if this was Anthony Carrigan. But surely Andrew Scott has this.
Ashley.
I'm going Andrew Scott as well.
And we're all going to say Andrew Scott here.
All right. Moving on.
Yes.
Supporting drama, I'm guessing now.
Yes. Where we have Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown, Gwendolyn Christie for Game of Thrones, Laura Dern for Big Little Lies, Audra McDonald for The Good Fight, Jean Smart for Watchmen, Meryl Streep for Big Little Lies, and Susan Watson for This Is Us. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's down to the Big Little Lies woman. And I almost immediately jumped on Laura Dern, but then it was like, well, they'll reward that same performance later. So I said Streep. And once again, being as high profile as she is probably is not going to hurt.
Judging
Good.
from what the critics have said, I'm saying Jean Smart.
I'd love to go with Jean Smart in this one. I really would. But I'm going to go with Laura Dern.
You think she's going to do the Daily Double?
I think it's very possible. Might as well not give, like AJ said, might as well give the same performance as the award twice.
All right. Supporting actor in a drama series.
Mm-hmm.
Where we have Asante Black for This Is Us, Billy Crudup for The Morning Show, AJ Dillon for Billions, Peter Dinklage for Game of Thrones, Justin Hartley for This Is Us, Delroy Lindo for The Good Fight, and Tim Blake Nelson for Walk. Asante Black sticks out because he was also nominated for When They See Us. So they're either going to throw him a bone or he's going to double lose, which would suck. But based on nothing other than maybe SAG is swaying me here, because if it wasn't for a SAG nomination, I probably wouldn't have even gone this direction. But and I almost just went with Dinklage just because I feel like anybody in Watchmen's a possibility at this particular ceremony anyway. But Billy Crudup is the one that stuck out to me, so I went with him. Like I said, SAG's probably swaying that, even though it shouldn't, but it's just the one I went with.
Which one was that again, AJ? Sorry.
Which one?
The supporting actor in drama.
Which one did I say?
Yeah.
Billy Crudup.
Okay. I'm probably being swayed by his performance in Just Mercy as well, but also because trying to keep it on the critics, I'm going to say Tim Blake Nelson.
Russell Hammond.
What does that mean?
That's Billy Crudup.
Is that Chernobyl?
I do find it funny that he's actually being in Watchmen, competing against Watchmen as a TV series as well.
Yeah.
You want me to give you guys full disclosure about this category and these last two categories? I was going through all my predictions a few minutes ago. I totally missed these categories, so I had to do those off the top of my head.
I wonder what that look on your face was. I was concerned for a second.
I was like, I don't know these categories. I was looking, I was like, where are these categories coming from? I don't know what this is. Oh, there's an extra one. Thanks, Unimportant Television Awards. I don't know where you are. I thought Ashley literally had a vacuum container from a vacuum in his hand a minute ago.
All right,
Maybe
we're almost there.
Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Josephine says, did any of you watch Years and Years?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't think it's as... I'm surprised it's made it in terms of, like, awards nominations. But I thought it was a pretty interesting concept, and yeah, I wouldn't complain to a second series. I don't even know if it's been commissioned.
AJ?
Actress in a miniseries or TV movie.
Yes.
We have Caitlin Dever for Unbelievable, Anne Hathaway for Modern Love, Megan Hilty for Patsy and Loretta, Joey King for The Act, Jesse Mueller for Patsy and Loretta, Mara Weaver for Unbelievable, and Michelle Williams for Fosse Verdon. That's a lot of double nominees that are going to lose to Michelle Williams. Obviously, I've still got the prayer in my heart for Caitlin Deaver. That's not going to happen, sadly. But yeah, obviously, it's going to be Michelle Williams, I would think.
Ashley?
Yeah, I've got Michelle as well.
Yeah, Michelle Williams. Real quick, more chat here. What is your favorite Tim Blake Nelson performance?
Oh my god, that's an amazing question. You know what's honestly up there because he's the high point of the entire movie. I love his monologue in Syrian. And as easy it is to say, probably our brother were Arthur, even though it's like the most obvious choice.
I'm honestly trying to remember what I've seen him in. I lose track of that. He was pretty good in Just Mercy that I just saw. Because I can't remember anything else. God, he was in Fan Four Stick.
Despite everything that's happening in it, he's kind of a scene stealer, scene stealer in Minority Report.
I'm sorry, I have to go with my gut on this one, and AJ probably knows where I'm going with this. He doesn't like this movie. The last time I checked, but I got to go with Heavyweight.
Wait,
I really dig that movie. I don't care why. I just do. It's really funny.
I stand by the best thing about Heavyweights is Paul Feig.
Doing Dance in a Love Machine? Oh my god, yes! That just popped into my head when you were talking about it, too.
Hold on. He was the voice of Chief McGillihorn in 4 episodes of Black Dynamite? I need to find Black Dynamite.
Didn't Laurie Metcalf do the Daily Double winning for television and movies? I know she lost the Oscar, but she won a lot of awards that year. That's Parsnip Burger.
So that'd be 2 years ago. That'd be Ladybird year, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
24.
After watching,
Don't worry,
as AJ, Ashley, I'm sure is looking for it. After watching Buster Scruggs last year, it would have been awesome if Tim Blake Nelson and Willie Watson performed when a cowboy trades his spurs for wings for last year's Oscars, but no.
Yeah, I feel like Tim Blake Nelson is the reason a lot of people found Buster Scruggs underwhelming, and that's because he's the opening and he's so amazing. That whole thing.
That's fair. Michelle Williams is the only winning awards for Fosse Verdon for the whole pay disparity thing. It's not that it's not an important award, should not be based on merit, not politics, says Josephine.
Well, it is somewhat merit, in all honesty.
Josephine brings up the fact that Caitlin Deaver, Ray Romano, Sam Jackson, and Jane Fonda have the same birthday. Interesting. Things that come up in chat sometimes. Parsnip doesn't agree with Josephine. She portrays her on exactly how she was. Verdon. It was a masterful role. Verdon's family and several other big Broadway stars confirmed perfect. And their birthday is December 21st. Josephine asked when everybody's birthday is. I don't know how we got here, but sure.
I'm not doing that because I don't want to be doxxed.
Yeah,
I'll just say 420. There you go. 420.
All good things happen on the 21st, is all I have to say.
Also, clarification. She didn't win the Critics' Choice for Lady Bird. That, of course, was the year of Alison Janney winning everything for I, Tonya. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry to break out the war wound there, AJ.
I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking, like, from Globe on, I was pretty sure Janie took everything.
First segment about Buster Scruggs and almost thought the entire movie was going to be a musical, says Bry Guy.
Somewhat fair.
Yeah, I mean, Buster Scruggs is amazing, but it might be off-putting with that setting the tone and then what follows. Actually, though, it kind of perfectly sets up the tone with the whole sort of death line being constant, but yeah. Should we finish out with the miniseries stuff?
Please do.
Actor in the miniseries, we have Christopher Abbott for Catch-22, Mahershala Ali for True Detective, Russell Crowe for The Loudest Voice, Jared Harris for Chernobyl, Gerald Jerome for When They See Us, Sam Rockwell for Fosse Verdon, and Noah Wiley for The Red Line. There's so many people here you want to jump on immediately, like Ali and Jared Harris and Rockwell, maybe Crowe. But like I was saying, his Globe snub got such a big reaction. His Emmy win got such a big reaction, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure he's in the wrong category because he's only prominent in the last episode. I'm gonna say Gerald Jerome.
Ashley.
I mean, he's amazing. It's just the category placement's confusing.
Chernobyl.
Yeah, I'm with Ashley on this one. Jared Harris.
Nice.
Are we done with TV?
Nope.
We've still
Finish this.
We've still got to do. We've still got to do 4 more actors and actresses, and then we've got to do the actual 3 categories themselves. Oh, sorry, 4.
The next one is Best TV Movie, which is Brexit, Deadwood, El Camino, Guava Island, Native Son, Patsy and Lorraine. Based on nothing, I said Deadwood. Obviously, I would want to pick El Camino, but I'm going to say Deadwood. I don't think Brexit's out either, but yeah.
Ashley?
I want to say Brexit because, it is technically a British production that got picked up by HBO. But I'm going to say Deadwood the movie as well.
A part of me wants to say Patsy and Loretta here for reasons, but I'm actually going to go with something different. I'm actually going to go with El Camino here.
Nice.
I'm not going to do very well on this award show, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell right now.
We're in TV. Only Ashley probably will.
Accurate.
All right. Best miniseries. We have Catch-22, Chernobyl, Fosse Verdon, The Loudest Voice, Unbelievable, When They See Us, and Years and Years. I want it to be Unbelievable. I could see it being When They See, but I said Chernobyl.
Ashley?
Chernobyl.
I concur. Let's see what chat says. Josephine says, I think Scoot McNairy should have been a True Detective. I thought he outshined both Ali and Stephen Dorff.
That's, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say he outshined Ali since Ali's like the face of it throughout, but McNairy's kind of got a small part after a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Stephen Harris should be getting awards just regardless anyway, so.
Scoot McNairy and Leonardo DiCaprio have the same birthday. They're at time in Hollywood. Of course, Scoot is the businessman that gets shot during the TV episode shooting scene. Yes.
This is Bob Gilbert.
Yes, Business Bob. Parsnip Burger says, don't get in the trap of saying Jared Harris. Well, let's hope not. And he shares a birthday with Dave Chappelle, apparently. August 20th. Next on the hit parade.
All right, let's blow through comedy. Christina Applegate for Dead to Me, Alison Brie for Glow, Rachel Brosnahan for The Mrs. Maisel, Kirsten Dunst for Becoming a God in Central Florida, Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Veep, Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge for Fleabag. Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Ashley.
This is a love story.
Same.
All right, actor in a comedy series.
Yes.
Ted Danson for The Good Place, Walton Goggins for The Unicorn, Bill Hader for Barry, Eugene Levy for Schitt's Creek, Paul Rudd for Living With Yourself, Bashir Salahuddin for Sherman's Showcase, and Rami Youssef for Ron. I had no idea. It's clear, Rudd and Hader are obvious choices. Danson's an obvious choice. Actually, I'm gonna change what I put right now since I haven't said it yet. Which means I'm gonna fuck myself. I went with the Globes and just said Rami Youssef, but I changed it just now to Walton Goggins.
So we're still going with the Tarantino reference. So
yeah.
What do you got, Ashley?
I'm sticking with my Globes pick and saying Rod. Because again, I'm trying to work out what these critics are going to be voting tomorrow and Friday.
I really want Eugene Levy to win, and part of me wants to go with it. But I'm going with Bill Hader.
That's a fair shout as well, though.
I think I'm just jaded. I'm
have-
just jaded with the Globes not going with him, which is why I didn't. So I don't know.
Josephine asks if everyone has ever watched *Halt and Catch Fire*.
I heard amazing things about it, but I never got around to it.
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, we're to finish out comedy.
Please, let's get out of TV, please.
Comedy series, we have Barry, Fleabag, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Mom, One Day at a Time. I get what they're doing here, but I assume it's pronounced Pen 15. And Schitt's Creek. Fleabag.
Ashley.
Yeah, No Time to Die.
One more for Fleabag.
All right, we're 3 away from getting out of TV.
Oh, I just deleted TV. That's not good. Crap.
All right, actress in a drama series. Kristen Grant for The Good Fight, Olivia Colman for The Crown, Jodie Comer for Killing Eve, Nicole Kidman for Big Little Lies, Regina King for Watchmen, MJ Rodriguez for Pose, Sarah Snook for Succession, and Zendaya for Evil. A part of me almost went with Olivia Colman, but I said Jodie Comer.
Ashley.
Wow. I'm gonna say I literally just changed it. I'm gonna say Nicole Kidman. And I'm honestly not. It's honestly I'm not sure between her, Jodie, and Regina.
I'm going to go with Olivia Colman here. Might as well be safe. Because I'm not going to be safe later, so I might as well be safe now.
All right, actor in a drama series.
Yes.
Sterling K. Brown for This Is Us, Mike Holder for Evil, Paul Giamatti for Billions, Kit Harington for Game of Thrones, Freddie Highmore for The Good Doctor, Tobias Menzies for The Crown, Billy Porter for Pose, and Jeremy Strong for a weird absence of Brian Cox.
Yeah, no lie.
I said Billy Porter.
Ashley.
So I'm trying to keep an eye on what's going on there. Yeah, I want Billy Porter as well.
I'm going with Sterling K. Brown.
That was my other consideration. Why the hell Game of Thrones is still here? Right? Mm-hmm.
All right, the last TV category.
Yes,
Ready?
finally. Let's do this.
For drama series, we have The Crown, David Makes Man, Game of Thrones, The Good Fight, Pose, Succession, This Is Us, and Succession would be the easy post-Globes pick. I feel like Watchmen is really a possibility. It did well nomination-wise,
Right.
but I went ahead and said Pose.
Ashley.
I'm trying to work out what the hell David Makes Man is.
It's actually a show that's filmed. It's actually a show that's filming at Universal. So.
I went Watchmen.
The Crown. I don't want to say that, but.
God, if the critics give Game of Thrones it, it'll be like, oh my god, how deaf are they?
So, lots of birthday talk in chat. We'll just put it that way.
All right. Are we finally ready for movie categories?
Oh, thank God, yes. Let's get rid of this television stuff. I might have a chance in these other things.
All right. We're going to start with an obvious one. Foreign. Where we have, not that it matters, but we but we have Atlantis, Les Miserables, Pain and Glory, Parasite, and Portrait of a Lady. I would love to hear from anybody that's not saying Parasite, just to see what your way of thinking is.
Ashley.
When you say, I think the critics are going to be completely different. I think this will be where they do the completely stupid thing and say Parasite. Also, why is there only 5 in here when there's 7 in nearly everything else? Are they slacking?
Well, keep in mind who all is in Critics' Choice. Like, aren't there even like YouTubers in Critics' Choice now?
Probably.
Like, that's what when I was picking these. I was trying to keep that in mind. I was like, think what YouTubers would say. But
After you sticking with the obvious answer.
Yeah.
Same here. Parasite, no question, says Bry Guy. Parsnip Burger says I don't even watch any of those shows except Game of Thrones I watched, but it was not a good final season.
Yeah.
A lot of people agree with you on that, actually. Never watched an episode.
alright, best sci-fi horror movie.
I hate this category.
And weirdly, The Lighthouse is missing. Because there's only 4.
The Lighthouse
See,
would be
that's
the
a
fifth
romantic
nomination,
comedy.
honestly.
That's a romantic comedy.
I did see the comment that somebody said The Lighthouse would have been the better movie this year to name Marriage Story. For sci-fi horror movie, we have Ad Astra, Endgame, Midsummer, and Us. Obviously, you kind of want to go towards Endgame, maybe even Midsummer. But I just kind of feel like whenever he's here, this is going to be the Peel Award. So, so I said Us.
Ashley.
If you start it at 9:29 and 30 seconds, the snap happens at midnight. Avengers Endgame is how you ring in the new year, apparently, nowadays.
I just watched fireworks at the Polynesian Resort Beach. I'm going to go with Us as well.
All right. Because we're practically the MTV Movie Awards, Best Action
There's no
Movie.
practically. We are.
For Best Action Movie, we have 1917, Endgame, Ford vs. Ferrari, John Wick 3, and Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, obviously, in these categories, they don't always go with the ones that are higher up in the other categories. Obviously, like there's no guarantee this is 1917.
Nope.
It could easily be Endgame. Honestly, the one I can see it being the most is John Wick 3. But for some reason, given what the competition is, I went safe and I said 1917 anyway. But it could very easily be something like John Wick 3. So,
Ashley, what are you going with?
No, you go first, Owen.
Really?
Yeah, just.
I'm going with John Wick 3.
Oh, good. We're going the same. I want it to win fucking something. The fact it got snubbed for stunts at the guilds, at the Screen Actors Guilds, the actors are fucking morons.
Let's see what else we've got here. Cool Guy says Endgame. Parsnip Burger says Serenity was a horror when I watched it. It should have been on AJ's worst movies of the year.
which one was that?
Serenity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Stephen Knight.
I think the reason I didn't consider it one of the worst is just like I don't know, the audacity of it. I don't know.
Turn the light off.
Hey, Lighthouse, if nominated, would have likely won, says Cool Guy. And The Fanatic, oh my god. Basically, Midsummer and Us is not the best sci-fi movie. Ad Astra and Avengers is not the best horror movie, but I'm saying Endgame here, says Brian. 1917. John Wick 3 could upset a la Crazy Rich Asians, says Cool Guy. Let's see. Ex Machina beat both Martian and Mad Max Fury Road. Says cool guy. Big Sick beat Ladybird. Crazy Rich Asians beat the favorite. Josephine says has such a crush on George McKay from 1917. Do any of you have any award season crushes this year?
If you had asked me this last year,
That's a shoot.
I guess I would say Caitlin Deaver, right? I mean, and with Unbelievable and Booksmart together and all that, it's her talent that's the attraction. Okay. Speaking of which, are we moving on?
Correct.
For best comedy,
Oh boy. Go ahead.
we have Booksmart, Dolomite Is My Name, The Farewell, Jojo Rabbit, and Knives Out. And once again, this is one of those cases where the obvious choice was Jojo Rabbit because it's in picture, but I said Knives Out.
Ashley.
Hang on. I went stupid and said Booksmart because again I wanted to actually win something.
I mean, if we are going by critical acclaim, it is like critically acclaimed movies of the year.
That's the other thing I'm trying to work out. That's the other thing I'm trying to go by. But Knives Out and Booksmart were both very critically lauded. To be honest, all of them were.
Bright Guy says The Farewell. And I'm going to go with Jojo Rabbit.
This will be the one time I don't back The Farewell and it gets something.
That works.
Possibility.
All right, animated.
Yes.
We have Abominable, Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon, I Lost My Body, Missing Link, and Toy Story. I'm going to say maybe Missing Link at the Globes was a fluke. Because I'm probably going to, like, throughout the season, pretty confidently keep saying Toy Story 4. And I was just thinking just now, we were talking earlier about how BAFTA snubbed Missing Link. And it's like, that's especially weird because they're the ones that picked Kubo over Zootopia.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, that throws a little wrench into this, but I'm gonna probably still stick with Toy Story 4 with the remaining ones that have an animated category.
Ashley.
I'm gonna stick Toy Story 4. I'm gonna stick with Toy Story 4 as well. I don't know whether Missing Link has got enough critical sort of praise compared to some of the other films. The weird one, I think, the outsider would be Abominable. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if that suddenly got it. So then that needs to be possibly considered as the not Disney one.
I think there's something behind Globes. I know it's different governing bodies that are voting for it. I'm actually going to say Missing Link here.
All right.
Let's see. Chat, real quick. Cool Guy says Knives Out, but JoJo is close. He mentions your grade A crack. Ashley, there you go. JoJo has a much better chance of getting an Oscar nomination than Booksmart. Well, yeah. I have Missing Link as Critics' Choice. Love copying the Globe. Says Cool Guy. Bright Guy says if we're having a massive race since it won a lot of critics awards. I Lost My Body. Cool Guy says I hope Missing Link is a fluke because that movie is not very good. And Josephine says if there was Critics' Choice for Best Love Story, the nominees would be Atlantic's Hidden Life, Jojo Rabbit, Little Women, Marriage Story, and A Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Okay. Continue.
All right. This is one that could just be totally random. Song.
Yep.
For song, we have Glasgow from Wild Rose. I'm going to from Rocket Man. I'm Standing With You from Breakthrough. Into the Unknown from Frozen 2. Speechless from Aladdin. Spirit from The Lion King. And Stand Up from Harriet. Or for Harriet, whatever you want. I feel like they could go with Spirit if they wanted to. Or if they really want to go with Frozen 2 for some reason, I could see them doing that too. But I'm going to stick with the Elton John suite, I think. So I'm going to say,
I so want to say Glasgow, but I'm going to stick with Elton and Bernie as well.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't go with Wild Rose. I really did.
Trust me. BAFTAs, it might be a completely different story.
Elton John. Bright Eye, agree.
naturally, you know what the next one is.
Yep.
Visual effects.
For
Ooh.
score.
Oh, there you go.
For score, we have Us, Little Women, Joker, Marriage Story, 1917, and The Irishman. Much like we talked about with the short list for the Oscars, I love that Us is here.
It deserves it.
I've been saying how much I love Jokers all season, and that was a very nice surprise at the Globe. But much like the Toy Story 4 missing link scenario, I'm gonna stick with the obvious choice, even post Globes, and say 1970.
Ashley.
1917. I was tempted to say Newman and then just you go which one, and I said Newman. But no, yeah, I go with 1917.
I'm going with the Joker upset.
To be
This
fair,
week wouldn't
is
be
it an
much of an
upset? That might be one of the
You're right.
few things that people universally sort of praise about that thing.
I would love
It's
to
like
see
we
us
were-
in there.
Plus, what we were talking about earlier about when you look at what exactly Critics' Choice's voting body is, it's so. Are we on to the next one?
Yeah.
Visual effects, where we have 1917, Ad Astra, the Aeronauts, Endgame, Ford vs Ferrari, The Irishman, and The Lion King. Despite the movie's reputation, I'm gonna say The Lion King, even though a part of me wants to say Endgame. But yeah, I'm gonna go with The Lion King for now.
Ashley.
It's a shame that special visual effects is going to be also one tonight, and there isn't going to be any chance for nobody to go on stage because they all got fired. However, Swerve, I'm going Endgame.
I'm sticking with Ashley's answer, going with Endgame as well.
Lion King is the dream, though. It's like, to accept this award, an invisible man, because they all got fired. And they just hand the award and it just goes straight on the floor.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind Ford versus Ferrari winning this. It needs visibility at this point.
It's doing fine guild wise.
Totally.
Watch it be Aeronauts. Considering seeing that on an IMAX screen, I also saw, the only ones I saw on IMAX were that and Ford v Ferrari. I love the fact when they do the BAFTA listings, you're going to be confused. What's this Le Mans 66?
Bright guy says, "I'm gonna love me again." Cool guy says, "I'm gonna love me again." For the best received film of the bunch Oscar wise, Bright guy says Joker. Cool guy says 1917 for score. Cool guy says Joker could win because Critics' Choice love copying the Globes. Endgame for Bright Guy. Josephine says Joker wins score. They may want to award a female composer. Let's see. Cool Guy says, I think The Irishman is a slam dunk here. These people went with Black Panther. Josephine says, upset that the Parasite score wasn't shortlisted. Cool Guy says, Irishman's real challenge is the Oscar. And my username says, I wish Ad Astra would take it.
All right. The next one?
Yes.
Hair and makeup.
Ooh, here we go.
I mean, this is another one where I feel like there's not really there's like an obvious choice, and then the four that are just here. Well, later now there's like 7.
7,500 that are here.
We have Bombshell, Dolomite is My Name, The Irishman, Joker, Judy, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Rocket. Surely throughout the season, this is a cakewalk for Bombshell. So I'm going to stick with that.
Ashley.
I'm saying Rocket Man.
I'm sticking with Bombshell as well.
Yeah, because Rocket Man's momentum is at an all-time high right now. So I know they're already talking about, not anybody like official, but just the word of mouth and possibilities, is the whole Queen opening we had for the Oscars last year is going to be repeated with somebody else that you can probably guess who. So just to further that comparison between Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah.
Brian and Cool Guy say Bombshell. My username says Dolomite or Bombshell. Next.
Speaking of Rocket Man, costume design. Where we have Dolomite is My Name, Rocket Man, Little Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, and Downton Abbey. Obviously, I'm saying Rocket Man.
Ashley.
This is costume design, right? So, sorry, I was busy with chat. I'm saying Downton.
I'm going with Little Women.
This is interesting. All right. Production design?
Yes.
I feel like there's 2 options here at least. But we have Joker, 1917, Little Women, Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, and Downton. I don't know what the hell order these are in, but
Same.
probably by the person or something.
Wikipedia order.
They're in order of the surname of the first person. So you got Freiberg, Gassner, Goncha, Hajun Lee,
Gone Woods.
Ling, Shaw, and Woods. Yeah.
Am I wrong to say that this is pretty much down to 2?
We'll see.
Depends which 2.
Either the one-take war movie that has a different set for every scene, or Tarantino recreating LA entirely.
Yep. That's how I'm seeing it.
I feel like 1917 is the smarter bet, but I went ahead and threw a bone to the movie I should not be throwing bones to because I don't want to jinx it. I went ahead and said Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Ashley.
Parasite.
Interesting.
It's the fucking house.
I'm also going to go with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Hold on. The guy says Little Women. Cool Guy says Costumes Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Bright Guy says 1917. Cool Guy says Ashley is now on A grade. Production design.
I'm not
Once
on
Upon
A
Time in
grade
Hollywood.
heroin. It's this fucking chat.
I know, dude. It's crazy. Hollywood for production design says my username in 1917 is close. Says Cool Guy, but he's going with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, and kudos to Ashley for moderating chat too.
Now, Cool Guy saying I'm on A grade crocodile. Is that got an E missing because I'm supposed to be on ecstasy or something? What? Is that code?
Best cinematography.
Oh, it's the Roger Deakins Award.
That's what I have in my order. What's yours now, Ashley? AJ, what do you got?
Editing.
Oh, we're going for the big one.
Why?
It's the Bo Jack Horseman Award. Bo Rap Horseman, sorry.
I thought about changing this at the last minute, but I'll keep it where I've got it.
Go ahead.
We have Uncut Gems, Ford vs. Ferrari, Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, and 1917. I almost changed it to Ford vs. Ferrari. And The Irishman's always a decent bet because Schoonmaker's a god. Or goddess, whatever you want to say.
Deity.
But without saying too much, because Owen's not seeing it till Friday, and I don't know who's seen it in the chat, but the Peach montage is what I keep thinking of. So I'm gonna say Parasite.
Ashley.
Though Uncut Gems should absolutely be a threat, but I don't know if it is or not. They loved Uncut Gems, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, now I remember what you mean.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that weird sex scene with the kid out on the fucking lawn.
No, Peaches and Sex, you're still on Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's why I was getting... I wouldn't be surprised if Schoonmaker took it, because the critics are idiots. But if we're going on critical buzz, Parasite.
Now the smart money is with Parasite here, as my friends would
I
say.
wouldn't say it's smart money. It's between 2 or 3, but because we've seen it, we've been swayed.
Well, 1:30 on Friday, we'll see what I think. I'm going to say that they finally do something and throw a bone to Fred Raskin.
That'd be nice.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Ashley.
All right, now we can do
I
cinematography.
wouldn't be surprised if it was Lee Smith, though. How do you splice loads of fucking scenes? Uh-oh.
Bry Guy says Ford versus Ferrari. Cool Guy says 19... Not Luke. Josephine thinks I think JoJo could get a production design nod at the Oscars. For editing, Ford versus Ferrari says Cool Guy. Cinematography, pulling for Joker, but it's probably 1917 says my username. Josephine says Parasite to win editing, and Bry Guy 1917.
And cool guy worked out how to do the peach emoji in chat.
The literal peach emoji in chat, of course. Go ahead. Cinematography.
Cinematography, we have The Lighthouse, 1917, Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Joker. I could see them going inspired enough to say The Lighthouse, but surely everybody under the sun will say 1917, including myself.
Ashley, you don't even need to say it.
At the minute, no. But I wouldn't be surprised if something else won here and suddenly made itself somewhat of a contender. It depends it depends on when we get to the guild, which is, when is it for cinematography? January 25th, so 2 weeks away. If they go with it, that'll be like the nail in the coffin for me. But I am 99% sure, rather than 100% sure, that it's going to be the Rog.
Now, Deacons was never my go-to in this category. The first person that came to my mind was Lawrence Sher for Joker. But I'm going to go with Richardson. You talk about somebody to win and to shake up the race a little bit, so give Deacon some competition. I think this might do it.
They are all beautiful looking films. There isn't one where I'm going, I don't get why that isn't in cinematography.
I can't say I've seen The Lighthouse, but I've seen enough imagery from it and the clips that AJ has sent me that I can see that it's a very beautiful looking movie.
I missed the preview just because of timing and whatever, and it's not coming out here till January the 31st, so literally BAFTA week. And I don't even know what the availability of it is going to be, so fingers crossed.
Alright, this is always an interesting category. Best Young Actor or Actress. Where we have Julia Butters for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Robin Davis for Jojo Rabbit, Charlotte Wright Joseph for Us, Noah Jupe for Honey Boy, Thomasin McKenzie for Jojo Rabbit, and Archie Yates for Jojo Rabbit. the obvious choice and the safe choice would be Roman Griffin Davis because he is the lead in a major contender.
But
she is like becoming high profile so fast.
Yep.
She is literally going to be Trudy Fraser before too long.
Accurate.
And she's just gotten so much attention for the movie. Like she is getting more singled out with her 2 scenes in the giant movie that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with that giant cast. Then Roman Griffin Davis is being the lead of Jojo Rabbit, which is a major contender that just came back in a huge way at the Guild.
Yep.
And that's not to take away from Davis at all because he's amazing and he's great, but the reaction that Butters has gotten is like insane. So I feel comfortable saying her. Though Davis is always he would probably be the next one if it's not for any.
What do you got, Ashley?
As much as I want to say Thomas and Mackenzie, because I can't even remember whether she didn't win it last year, did she? For Leave No Trace, because it was what's her name for 8th grade, wasn't it?
Oh, Elsie Fisher.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Julia Butters, but I feel I might be missing an open goal because the critics might be wanting to make it up to Mackenzie because of last year. But again, I'm trying to go with what the critics are thinking, and in my opinion, Julia Butters' 2 scenes were better than the majority of her acting performances. It's that much of a show stealer. She is Judi Dench in Shakespeare in Love, right there.
Brian says Davis and JoJo. Cool Guy says I think Roman wins, but if there's a vote split, Julia Butters. Cool Guy says if Butters somehow gets a Best Supporting Actress nomination, I would be ecstatic. Yes, all of us would love to see this happen.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Lopez gets thrown out for Julia Butters.
That anything is possible for that movie. I feel after Robbie's BAFTA nomination.
Yeah, no lie.
Julia Butters is in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood more than Margot Robbie is, and she got a nomination.
That's right.
That's the grade A crocodile. Sorry, other memes. Cliff and I've forgotten the name of the dog because all I can think of is the donkey with headphones. Randy.
The friggin' donkey with headphones again.
I'm gonna have to get a screenshot of that, and that's just gonna be in the corner throughout the entire Oscar show.
Of course it is.
Got it somewhere.
Josephine says, I would love a Butters nod. I think all of us would like that to happen at this point. We'd love to be proven wrong with our predictions just to see that happen.
All right. Are we moving on to ensemble? There's quite a few options here. Like, I don't say anything here with confidence. We have Bombshell, The Irishman, Knives Out, Little Women, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. When you look at the other critic wins, Knives Out has been murdering this category.
We made a joke.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, you just realised it.
Odd.
But, God, I lost track of what I was saying. It's crazy to me now. It was crazy to me at the time, but even more so now with the PGA nomination. How the fuck is Knives Out not at SAG?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That is baffling to me at this point. Because I don't think Bombshell's in this. I would say not Knives Out is in this. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is in this. Maybe The Irishman's in this. And then there's the choice that I went with. Where I feel like Knives Out is easily the safe choice here. Like, I should be saying Knives Out.
But
I'm going to say Parasite.
Ashley.
I'm saying Knives Out. just for that fucking accent from Daniel Craig. I just want him to. I just want him to randomly go into that in No Time to Die, just to confuse Blofeld. I say, Blofeld, what is wrong with you?
After watching it yesterday, I would love to say Marriage Story here because it really needs the visibility to get back into this race, big time.
It's on Netflix. It has all the visibility.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And not a bad like choice to go with. I mean, obviously, it's like one of the best options, if not the best option. But as far as what they'll actually pick, it's not a bad choice.
I feel sorry for Bombshell because all that I have heard from like people that went to see it for a screening that happened yesterday, which I wasn't able to go to because I'm not a membership card holder. At one screening, a woman was complaining, at least online afterwards, because there was a guy sat in the row directly behind her that was laughing every sort of term of sexual abuse was referenced.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
This is 2020.
Yeah, let's get away from that real quick.
Screenplays?
Bright Guy says marriage.
Okay, comments.
Bright Guy says Marriage Story. Josephine says, and if I hadn't said it enough, Thomasin McKenzie was better than Scarlett Johansson and Jojo Rabbit. I don't care what anybody says. Cool Guy says, I think Hollywood wins, but Knives Out is a legitimate threat, unlike Jennifer Lopez for the Oscar win.
Wow. Sick burn.
All right, are we ready? It's
oh boy.
there.
It's the big 54.
All right, go ahead.
All right, adapted screenplay.
Yep.
We have all the obvious choices: A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Little Women, The Two Popes, Joker, Jojo Rabbit, The Irishman. Once again, am I wrong to say this is down to two? Is this not Zalian or Gerwig? Gerwig is absolutely a threat, especially with Little Women having much more momentum than it did when the came out. I'm gonna stick with Zalian though.
Ashley.
I heard they paint paintings. Little Women.
Yeah, I'd be a really bad biased person if I didn't go with Greta here.
I think there is a
But
possibility
don't
that Zalian doesn't.
discount Watiti here. Not even close.
Yeah.
Watch it be Two Popes. I'd be like, why didn't you get it at the Popes?
Stop this! No more.
Yes.
It's ruining everything right now. No.
I mean, I was positive to Two Popes, and I was telling Owen this yesterday. I was mostly positive when I was talking about the Two Popes, like as a movie when I reviewed it. Mm-hmm. But anything with all the possibilities that are in this race this year, the Two Popes getting anything would be so fucking boring and a waste of a slot. But maybe that's just me. So, we're ready for original?
Yeah.
All right. We have Marriage Story, Parasite, Knives Out, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and The Farewell.
Lulu Wong.
Yes,
we just want to say it right now.
Yes, we've been mispronouncing her name the whole damn season.
To be fair, almost everyone has, so it's not like it's just us.
I blame the Hollywood Reporter for putting those goddamn roundtables out at the last goddamn minute instead of posting the fucking clips first. But just post the whole goddamn thing in December or whenever the fuck it is you film. Original screenplay could be a few of these. Like, even though Maristor's taking a lot of hits, I don't think Baumbach's entirely out. I think he's getting lower, but he's not out. I'm gonna say Parasite.
Ashley.
I'm going Parasite as well.
As much as it would be cool to see both Bombach and Gerwig take it on the same night, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going with Tarantino.
I would like to. There's the thing is we were talking about how this is like when people think of Critics' Choice, they think of the critics, which not exactly.
Right, exactly.
But your first instinct is to go see what critics say. And if you look at the Critics Awards, when any body of awards goes for Parasite, they really go for Parasite. Like if they get Parasite picture, they also give it director and screenplay, and Song Kang Ho sometimes shows up, and obviously foreign. So when they go for Parasite, they really, really go for it. So that's what made me confident going with it here. And obviously we'll get to that later as well.
Bry Guy says Irishman. Cool Guy says Dad's Irishman. Bry Guy says Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for the newest question. And oh god, Josephine, if Florence Pugh dates Post Malone, their name would be Pugh Malone. Really? All right, fine. Let's go. Next.
Supporting actress.
Yes.
We have Laura Dern for Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit, Jennifer Lopez for Hustlers, Florence Pugh for Little Women, Margot Robbie for Bombshell, and Susan Zhao for whichever way you want to say that. Yeah. I mean, I think Laura Dern is good to go for the rest of the season. Not to get ahead of myself, but I feel good about saying that.
What do you got, Ashley?
Jiao Shen is how you pronounce it, but I'm saying Laura Dern.
I would like to see Florence Pugh win something this season, and I think BAFTA is a very good possibility. But I'm going to go with Laura Dern here. After finally seeing the movie yesterday, I understand why buzz. And to be fair, I liked it.
I'm assuming it's the God speech. I mean, I don't know how they're going to play that with the censors when the clips.
No lie.
There's going to be a slightly softened impact there. Yeah.
Oh, Braga also mentioned I'm going with I Lost My Body for animated and Laura Dern for Marriage Story.
That's bold on I Lost My Body. It is getting a lot of critics' attention, but like I said, there's the critics and then there's Critics' Choice, and there's some differences.
Speaking of that, let's go with Best Supporting Actor.
All right. We have Willem Dafoe for The Lighthouse. Thank you. Tom Hanks for The Neighborhood. Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes. Al Pacino for The Irishman. Joe Pesci for The Irishman. And Brad Pitt once. Yeah, between going for Uncut Gems and Willem Dafoe, it's like I keep bashing Critics' Choice, but they're like one of the few bodies that actually got it right with those. So I still feel like Pesci is always a threat. And I would hate to get too confident in the one win I want this year more than any other win. But I will go ahead and say Pitt.
Ashley.
I'm saying Pacino.
Interesting. I'm going with Brad Pitt, of course.
You both going for Brad. Sorry.
The best part of the category is there's not much of a wrong answer.
I wish Tom Hanks was more in this. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I have my clear favorite, but like in any other year, I would love to see a Pesci win. I would love to see a Pacino win, even though that's not possible unless they tie. And obviously,
we had 2 ties last year. I mean, this is what happens when your window of voting is like 36 hours. Because
that's a fair point.
I don't know when I don't know when exactly in the day and night that the voting opens and closes, but the fact that it literally voting starts Thursday and finishes Friday, with the award show Sunday. They aren't going to need Ernst & Young. They're just going to need Google. Tally them up.
It's like I think we mentioned this before. The legendary moment when Critics' Choice was still early, and there were only 3 nominees an actor, and Nicholson and Day-Lewis tied. And as a joke, Williams, who was the 3rd nominee for 1 Hour Photo, gave the speech. So they've been a clusterfuck since the beginning. So, are we ready for actress?
Yeah, we've got some chat stuff too. You want to do that after actress?
Whatever you want to do.
Josephine says, my brother's girlfriend is Chinese. That made me like the farewell. Favorite Dern performance beside Marriage Story? Let's see if I have an answer.
The thing I want to jump on immediately is like Wild at Heart.
Fair.
I mean, there's always just any of her Lynch stuff, like Inland Empire has a huge the performance in that is like Naomi Watts Mulholland Drive levels, because you can only compare David Lynch movies to other David Lynch movies.
True. Yeah, probably Blue Velvet.
I probably say
AJ showed me for the first time, thankfully.
I probably say Jurassic.
Yeah, that was my second guess, but I wanted to go with Blue Velvet because that really stuck with me after the movie was over.
And she has that perfect reaction to Isabella Rossellini towards the end, where it's like you don't know whether to laugh or be horrified, and she always finds that perfect middle ground.
Let's see. Speaking Lopez, when I mentioned she won't get in because of her other movies' work, but the recent BAFTA controversy and since she's been a presenter at a lot of times these award shows, I feel she could still get in, says Brian. Anything's possible, but we're not holding any to that. Brian Guy says Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for Brad Pitt. And to be careful of ties here at the Critics' Choice. Yeah, Bry Guy, I'm pretty sure we have Poppy and Branch populating the chat right now.
All right, actress.
Yes, let's do this. This is an obvious one.
You got Aquafina for The Farewell, Cynthia Erivo for Hair, Chance for Marriage Story, Lupita Nyong'o for Us, Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, Charlize for Bombshell, and Zellweger for Judy. There's the whole competition in the entire category.
This is very true.
The race there. Zellweger.
Ashley.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Zellweger as well.
I want Lupita to win this. It's not going to happen. I'm going with Zellweger, but I want Lupita to win this. Let it be known. Actually, I like Johansson to win this and shake things up a bit. But yeah, Zellweger's got this all day.
All right, are we ready for our Bale-less Best Actor?
Speaking of shake things up a bit, oh boy.
We have Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, De Niro for The X-Men, DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver for Marriage Story, Eddie Murphy for Dolomite Is My Name, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, and Adam Sandler for Uncuts. Once again, we make fun of Critics' Choice, but sometimes they get it right.
Yeah. Everybody's in here except for Bale.
Now, once again, this is the case where you can look at all the other critics' bodies and see that Adam Driver is annihilating them. But this is around the time of year where the televised awards start going in the same direction. So I'm going to say Joaquin Phoenix. Because that's the thing, too, is when you talk about different critic bodies being in Critics' Choice, is that there is a lot of critics that are not crazy about Joker.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's weird in retrospect to see that Todd Phillips isn't in director. But once again, this was at a time before Joker's momentum was where it is now, after its 11 BAFTA nominations. But yeah, like I said, this is the part where momentum changes, so I'm going to say Phoenix.
Ashley.
Abraham H. Parnassus. Yeah, I'm
going with Phoenix as well.
I'm saying Adam Driver.
I'd love to see Driver win this. Again, after seeing it and having it completely fresh in my mind, if this was another year, Driver would be running away with this without any competition. But this
Again,
year is
because of the
so
whole,
good.
because it's critics, I'm just wondering whether they're going to be cheap and just follow the Globes, or whether they're actually going to go with what they felt was the best performance. Either
It's critics'
way,
choice. Let's
let's
take all
just
the
still
applause.
hope that he gets what he fucking deserves.
I would be okay if anybody won this category. I mean, I don't have anything with Banderas, but I mean, because I don't have anything on the movie, but I've seen everything else other than Dolomite. And the thing about it is, I trust Eddie Murphy without a doubt, because we're talking about the guy here that still likes 1,000 words and most people don't. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, I trust Eddie Murphy. And I think anybody could win this. De Niro needs to win this. He's not going to, but he needs to, because his visibility is about nothing at this point. And I really feel like I'm going to kick myself on Monday when he's not on the best actor lineup. Thanks, Taron Egerton. I don't know why you got in here, but you're here.
Oh yeah, he's not here either. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
No Egerton and no Bale.
But once again, this was pre-Momentum, so they hadn't decided what they were going to copy.
That's a very good point. Let's see. Bry Guy says Zellweger for Judy. Okay. Nah.
Are we ready for director?
Oh boy. Yeah.
We got Noah Baumbach for Marriage Story, Bong Joon-ho for Parasite, Greta Gerwig for Little Women, Sam Mendes for 1917, the Safdie brothers for Uncut Gems, Scorsese for The Irishman, and Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Obviously, I was all over the Mendes at Globe thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he would be a safe bet here as well. But as I alluded to earlier, I am going to say Bong Joon, because I think Parasite's going to have a good night here.
Ashley.
Bong Joon Ho as well.
I'm going with Tarantino here.
I wish you the best.
You know better than anyone you want me to be this night. You want me to have the best night over everybody in all this competition we're having, just so we can have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood pretty much 100% solidify itself as the absolute front runner this year. You can't say that, but I can.
Yeah, but at the same time, you haven't seen Parasite yet.
Yeah, but I mean,
If somehow we sway you to like get off the Once Upon a Time bandwagon and get on the Parasite bandwagon for a lot of this, I think we'll know the power of that film. Because don't get me wrong, I've loved everything that he's done. Parasite is genius compared to excellent Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. At least in my opinion. I don't think AJ's going to go that far because he doesn't want
I
it to be
not.
Once Upon a Time.
But there's also the thing we mentioned, and I know I'm probably saying too much here and ruining it. But earlier in the season, I had said something about, I think it was right around the time SAG came out. It was after SAG and Globe came out. And I had said that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was the one movie that hadn't taken a hit yet. Because De Niro was missing for The Irishman, Baumbach was missing, director for Marriage Story. Because at the time, those three were the front runners, and now Parasite has brought its way in here as well. And I would say if you want to say Parasite's getting hits, I guess that would be that Song Kang-ho isn't as prominent as he could be. Maybe. But whereas Once Upon a Time in Hollywood still hasn't taken a hit yet because it was ineligible for WGA, it's getting bonus points, like the Robbie nomination at BAFTA. Like it's going further than not having any hits. It's getting shit that it wasn't expected to get to. So, but Parasite's right here. So, like Parasite is at least top 2, I would think. So, and and obviously Jojo Rabbit's coming back in a big way with the PGA nomination, the DGA nomination, the WGA nomination, and the SAG and BAFTA nominations. Jojo Rabbit is here in a big way, because I was saying earlier, because I think it was Josephine had wondered where it was in the race and it was possible, and at the time we said its momentum was down.
Not now.
Not anymore. So, yeah. So this is. I love that there's actually a picture race, and of course, 1970, because 1970 doesn't have acting or that WGA notice, even though it was probably in place of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with a Farewell, which were ineligible. That means they really love 1917, that it at least got in there even with open slots. So we don't really know where anything is right now.
Not really.
Especially when you have a movie like 1917 that only goes on text leading in. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Bright Guy says 1917. Let's see. And Marriage Story for Adam Driver. Okay.
All right, that leaves picture, doesn't it?
That does leave picture.
All right, we have 1917, Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, and Uncut Gem.
Yeah, it's nice that it's there. I'm glad with that.
I'm going to say Parasite after everything I just said. So I assume everything I've said up to this point pretty much explains why I would say that.
Obviously. Ashley, what do you got for picture?
Parasite.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Bright Guy says for picture because I only have it winning for Snubbing Scorsese for director. You wouldn't be the only one doing that at this point from what I've seen from other people's predictions. Not ours, but obviously but others. That's our show. So I want to thank all the regulars in chat tonight. We believe in positivity here on the network, so there's no need to mention anything else. We had some fun tonight chatting with our friends here in chat, whether live or in archive. Thank you guys and girls out there for joining us tonight. Ashley, where can we find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter at Ash is my name UK.
AJ cannot be found on social media, but if you'd like to leave him a comment, you're more than welcome to on the bottom here. And at Soro and Disney on Twitter from myself. So coming up Sunday night after the Critics' Choice Awards is over, we're going to do a recap show. It's going to be quick, fast. Get your questions ready if you want them, because we're going to have to take it home early, because I got to get up at 7 a.m. the next morning. It is Oscar nominations morning, and I have to work till 2:30, and then I have construction going on in the apartment. But don't worry, Monday we've got our reactions to the Oscar nominations, and right afterwards, if you're live, you're going to get the actual podcast with the discussion about the nominations. But if you're not live, we're going to have it up for you guys on Tuesday. AJ's Best of the Year video is coming up really soon as well. Versus is coming back soon. Ashley's got gaming content and Sip and Snack content. I've got Sip and Snack content. I've got more Voices content coming. A lot of cool stuff. And yeah, that's going to be your show. And Cassie says always fun. So everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. Ashley, thanks for joining us. AJ,
Hey.
thanks for joining us.
All right. It's getting late.
Yeah,
in terms of
once again,
in terms of what time, it'll be after it. I'm gonna tentatively set the stream for I think 11 Eastern, because it should be 3 hours. But it may be before, it may be after. It depends, whatever happens.
That's going to be your show. And everyone, that's all we got to say about that.